As you can tell by how sweaty I look, I finished my workout. And I went to get bagels at the shop. I'll show you. So it says bagels. This is Hulu Avenue right here. And so it says New York bagels. Obviously, it's not going to be just like New York bagels because the water on the East Coast, I believe, I'm pretty sure it's the East Coast. Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Is different. Like the water filter is completely different than it is kind of anywhere else, but it's as close as it gets to New York style bagels. This is what it looks like. Kind of on the outside, it has like some art. Like you can't miss that, you know. So the bagels that I got one cinnamon, and then I got one everything, and I got two blueberry bagels, because I don't know, I just really love my blueberry bagels with cream cheese. So good. But yeah, let's go home and eat these yummy bagels. It's back. The Bartholin cyst is back. And it makes sense, because every other month I'm getting one apparently. And I avoided a close shave, like with like a, there's buzz cut, and there's like the actual razor. Didn't razor shave. I did like a buzz cut where you look, like if I were to grab my hair, I look, and then I just like go, didn't touch my skin. And also another not symptom, but a cause of like, oh, it seemed to have acted up after this is like intimacy with my husband. And that's more of like back to back, not just in general, but like, let's say 3 days straight back to back, but we didn't do that. So at least I can rule out those things being the leading cause, like close shaving, didn't do, or intimacy, multiple, like kind of in a row. We didn't do that. So I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't think this is going to be the one. This is my 5th one, I believe. Don't think this is going to be the one where we're going to catch it and I'm going to surgically remove it. Just don't think it's going to happen. So yeah, maybe the 6th. But I felt perfectly fine when I worked out this morning. I felt perfectly fine when I clocked into work, and then I was putting things away in our storage. When you walk towards the bathroom, this hallway, there's like a storage door, and I was putting storage stuff away, like a delivery that we had, and that kind of like felt my groin, and it hurt, like my tampon. And I was like, oh, that doesn't feel good. So then I went to the bathroom and I checked, and I sat down, and I was like, yeah, it's back. And then I started crying. And my boss was like, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, thanks. So I got an appointment for tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, and it already is starting to feel like burning. Feeling not as bad, but I'm starting to feel it already. I picked up a shift because one of my coworkers is sick and I want to just work more. And yeah. I want to clarify, I picked up the shift in the morning, like she was like, hey, I'm sick. And so I was like, yes. Like after I worked out, went home, had breakfast, told her I could work a food running shift. I didn't just pick it up while I already knew it was happening. And then at this point, that day, my Oura ring was just showing like minor signs of stress on your body. And then later, it showed like major stress. But yeah. My boss was like, it seems like a slow night. So I might get to go home early. But yeah. I finished work and I don't know why, but some part of me is always like, I'm a woman. I can birth kids. Why would I take pain meds ever? I took like 2 pain med pills of acetaminophen, whatever you call it. And then at work, I took 2 pain meds of Advil. That's not a lot, but still a good amount of pain meds. And I feel like normal, which is a little scary because pain is also good because it tells you when you're at your limit of whatever. But I'm like, why didn't I just take pain meds the last 4 times? I feel stupid. But whatever. I have a high pain tolerance. So I'm done with work. I got to leave early because I doubled, and my workplace is very kind. It is the next day, and I got an appointment with a nurse practitioner. I don't know if that means like that's just someone who knows what they're doing but also doesn't know what they're doing, but whatever. It's not at that Ring of Fire situation where last time that was so painful. I've never felt such pain like that. It's just like right now it's just like inflamed, you know. It's definitely at the point where it's like uncomfortable to sit down. Last time, I'm pretty sure I told you guys while I was crying about my parking situation at Long's that they were like, take a seat. Okay, like, I'm here for my appointment. My name's Marsupialization. Oh, okay, take a seat. I'm like, dude, I'd rather not. But this time, I think I could take a seat. Yeah, we're definitely trying to catch this guy a little bit early. I don't think it's gonna be the one where they're gonna be like, oh, let's schedule a surgery. Because when you think about it, you always have saliva producing in your mouth, and in your hoochie, you always have more saliva in a way producing to keep pH levels or whatever. So it makes sense that over time it's just gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So the whole thing is just like, if we can schedule surgery, how soon can we schedule it that it's not too late for it to get infected? Because let's say, oh yeah, we can schedule a surgery for tomorrow morning first thing, 5 a.m. But my hooch is still gonna be trying to produce saliva so I don't dry out. And then oh my gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, okay, dry coochie. What if I'm already sedated and they're ready to go and they look at it and like, now it's infected. It's just, you can't win with this situation. Going down. Cow. We went to 47 and cow is pee-pee. Pee-pee. I thought that was kind of cool. Okay, so here's the thing. It's still there. It's still a little sore and painful. But nope, that's not it. No Bartholin gland excision or whatever you call it. I hope nobody's waiting for me right now. But mainly because that's really invasive, and she said we can do this procedure where they just open a hole so it drains and heals out majority of it. So I guess when they opened it up, drained it, and then put that catheter in the gland, it kept it open, but eventually the gland would close up and it would push the catheter out, or the catheter little inflation bulb would fall out, leaving it what's somewhat healed, leaving that for a little bit of infection to remain still, because then that will also close and it heals. And so that very small thing of the gland or whatever irritation would still be in there. That's why every other month it would start to act up, and then we get that whole situation where it expands and then it turns into an infection a little bit more close to my bottom. So antibiotics fight the infection that's happening, but it doesn't help that the Bartholin Cyst catheter comes out in like a week when it's supposed to stay in for 2 weeks, meaning that there's a little bit of like a spot pretty much that's still in there. So this procedure, I forgot what it's called, something with an M. Honestly, whenever they said the word, I kept thinking of the mascarpone cheese that we have at Rigo's, because it sounds like that Marcelin procedure. That is just going to be a surgical procedure, kind of where they turn it a little inside out. They make a little hole and they kind of just open it, and kind of like how you open your chip bag, and then you kind of like fold the opening over to keep that bag open so you can just grab chips. That's going to stay open, and that would stay like that for 2 weeks. instead of leaving that the inflatable catheter in and it falling out, this would just keep the hole open, and it won't be noticeable to the naked eye, but it will allow all that little like gland to close and heal at the bottom, and then heal, and then completely heal, instead of the hole closing because the catheter fell out and there's just a speck of still whatever is in there that's causing these infections every other month. I just remember thinking, like, thank you, Jesus. I was praying so hard, just being like, this is like, you know, he built my, like, the Lord knits us in our mother's womb. He knows exactly what's gonna happen. He knows everything. Not, you know, not a tear goes without his notice. And so I was kind of crying and just praying that, like, God, if this is your will, please let this be something that we can do something more intense about, if that makes sense. And just like, yeah, I'm very thankful. I'm so happy that it's in his will. But it's always just like the prayer of like, okay, this needs to be in your will, because like my will would be like we'd scrape this thing out and boom, bada bing bada boom, we'd be done. But if it's not in his will, it's not gonna happen, because my will is stupid majority of the time and his is actually not. It's much later in the day and I took these, what do you call it, like an ibuprofen pain med that I got last time. I took the antibiotics. I got them from Lungs. And yeah, pain is alright. It's a little bit spicy still, the pain, but not bad. And we've just been chilling, doing whatever. Tomorrow, though, and tonight I'm going to make an overnight oats and then eat that. I'm going to set an alarm to eat it at like 4:30 and take my antibiotic with that, so I don't need to worry about not eating, because I can't eat after 5, then no water after noon. And it is making popcorn and root beer and overnight oats for me and him. I'm taking my antibiotics at 4:30 and eating the overnight oats at 4:30 in the morning, because I can't eat after 5 a.m. So I'm just going to do it 30 minutes before my cutoff time, just to be safe. But we're watching Dune, and I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm watching a movie with my dad, when my dad would show me movies. And I'd be like, this is so cool, because I got to hang out with my dad. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand the first movie. I watched a recap with him, and Brent's like, yeah, I remember this. I'm like, yeah, me too. I don't remember. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on at all. This is gonna be, we have 2 hours and 12 minutes left. He came in, brought me my soda. I don't understand what's going on, but that's fine. Sometimes in marriage you just don't know what's going on, but you still have a good time, you know? And that's what's going on right now. I don't understand this movie, but I'm having a blast. And last time I had a procedure, we watched Mamma Mia, and I had a dream about that scene when I was going under of them on the beach, and she's like, da, 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 does your mother know? You know what I'm talking about? I feel like I'm gonna have a dream about Dune, and I'm gonna be eaten by a sandworm in my anesthesia dream when I go under. Oh my god, it's at that point where it burns every time. No matter what I'm doing, it burns. I feel like I need to poop. Ugh. How am I supposed to poop with this? Every time I push, it feels like I'm trying to push my hoochie. Anyways, it's the morning now, as you can see. I'm trying to get my Oura Ring off so I can charge it. But my blood is still too puffy for my hands right now. Yeah, any movement, no matter where I am, it burns. Last night I was crying because, like, obviously this whole situation, but it's so swollen that number one, pee's trickling out of me. And number two, I can't even menstruate because it's so blocked. Like, the liquid of menstruation blood cannot come out until I, like, pee. And then I wipe, and all the blood is like, hey, we've been waiting to come out. Like, I have a pad. I just think that pad is just for show because no blood is on it. Nothing. So I am literally on the toilet right now, and you guys want raw, like, this is what it is footage. I'm thinking like, I just want to give up on wiping. Like, can we just give up on wiping, because it's so painful. My poop was actually very smooth. I'm very thankful for that it just right out, you know. But oh god, the thought of showering, I just want to cry at the thought. Wiping, I'm like, like, you know how they say after, like, childbirth, your hoochie gets really swollen and sore. One side of it is, like, definitely way more swollen than an after childbirth hoochie might be, because it might be more of like, both sides are equally swollen together. This one is just like taking up the entire room, and not just swollen, but it's very tender, and it's not as spicy right now, but the thought of showering, the thought of shifting my weight on this toilet seat to wipe my ass. We have to laugh about it, ladies and gentlemen, otherwise it just gets really sad. I'm not even trying to cry. It just comes out. I literally walked to the kitchen to get my water, and then I walked back to the bedroom to get the pain meds, and then I walked to my drawer to get a new pair. I'm wearing, like, the boxer underwear because I'm just keeping a panty liner just in case. And then I walked to the bathroom to get my panty liner, and just, oh my gosh, like I said, I can't help but cry when I'm walking because the pain is so excruciating. Oh, you just have to laugh. You just have to laugh it off. Good news is I took my pain med. I'm not showering. I'm sorry, OB people. Yeah. And hopefully it kicks in soon. I know not to eat. It's actually 9, so I thought it was like 8:20. It's actually 9. So that's also good news. Oh, every time I move, it is so painful. The tears just squeeze out of my little eyeballs. Like, my eyes are squeezed so shut when I'm moving. Like, if I close my eyes hard enough, the pain goes away, and I can feel my little tears just push through my little eyes. I just need to laugh it off, you know? How am I gonna walk from the parking lot to check in? Brendan just dropped me off. I'm waiting. He's gonna park and then walk over here so I don't have to walk that far. But every time I walk, my eyes just start leaking. I just sat down, and I took kind of forever to sit down, and people are probably looking at me like, ooh, what's her deal? I look so Asian.
Wait, you're Asian? Never heard of Asian?
It's these glasses. What the? Favorite thing about this? This is such warm air. So warm. It's called the bear hugger. And I'm ready. No more having to walk around with this lump.
You gotta pee. Oh.
I already did that. I'm out. Gonna wait to take my IV out. And Brennan went to go pick up the car. It was so funny because I woke up. I told the woman like how me and Brennan met, and then she asked me, "What do you want to drink?" And I was like, "Oh, I'll take Sprite." And then I fell back to sleep apparently. And then I woke up with the Sprite can in my hand. Took a very nice hot shower. I washed my hair. My hair was like all greasy from like, I don't think I had a fever, but definitely just like sweating, and then just the discomfort obviously made me a little more sweaty too. I'm in not as much pain as I thought I was going to be, honestly. Like the pain is very mild, very manageable. I'm still on the pain meds, don't get me wrong. It's just ibuprofen 600. Yeah, it's pretty manageable. I took my antibiotics when I had chicken noodle soup when I got home, and then when I had dinner, I took my antibiotics again. And when I woke up from my nap was the time to take the pain meds. So Brendan was like, don't wait for it, just kind of low-key overlap the time just a little bit to stay on top of it. And I'm like, all right, that's fair. But feeling good. I'm glad I chose this operation. And if it doesn't work, then my OB is very for it for the very intrusive one. She said she'll be more inclined to want me to do it. She said we shouldn't do the really heavy, invasive one if we don't really need to. So, she said I suggest just making sure, opening it up like a potato chip bag. Open up the bag. I mean, she didn't give me this analogy. I just thought of it. Open the potato chip bag and then fold the opening over so it stays open better. All right. Goodbye, everyone. I'll give you a little goodnight kiss.